I'm now on day 2 of my Mallorcan e-bike adventure. Here's my e-bike. I'll tell you a bit about that later in another video. Anyway, we're going on a 113 kilometer loop today with about 1200 meters of climbing. I'll put a link to the course that I'm going to use, which we downloaded from Ride with GPS, in the description. I'll also put a link to my ride on Strava. Currently we're on this nice little Mallorcan back road. It's quite sunny today. It's about 11 o'clock and my Garmin's showing 20 degrees centigrade. There's my brother following me, always in my wheel it seems. But there again, I got an e-bike. Here's our first Mallorcan hilltop town for today. I've just turned my motor off and it felt like I was going from flying up the hill to riding through treacle. I still got the motor off and boy does it seem like hard work. There's a viewpoint up here. Should we go and have a look? Buenos dias. A Mallorcan cat. Buenos dias. Anyway, nice little rest after turning my motor off and my heart rate jumping from about 130 to 150. How was that for you, Dave?
That wasn't too bad. Legs are feeling it a bit.
All right. Perhaps we'll try you on the e-bike on the next climb.
Possibly. He doesn't want to be too steep a climb.
What, for me, for my sake? That's what he's so considerate. Well, I've just swapped over bikes with my brother. So I went on an acoustic bike and he took my e-bike. And he just zoomed ahead of me, whereas yesterday when I was on the e-bike I zoomed ahead of him. Well, I didn't know if you'd turned the wrong direction, Dave, or whether you had put it on boost and zipped up the hill so fast I couldn't see you ahead of me.
I was in the normal green setting and I caught that guy in front of us quite quickly, and then I thought, oh, I'll put it into boost and see what it does, and then it took
off like a rocket.
Yeah, it was quite
impressive. Impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose I'm going to have to ask for my bike back now. Yes. Anyway, I'm pleased to get my e-bike back. I am pleased to get my e-bike back. So, are you impressed with the power and stuff?
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Ride quality?
Yeah, the handling's a bit strange on that bike.
It is, yeah.
Did you notice that this one was better?
Well, I noticed it was lighter and twitchier.
I didn't think
whether
it
that's
was. I
better.
thought yours was a bit. It sort of felt like it was diving into. The steering felt like it got to a certain point and it sort of wanted to go further.
Right, okay. Maybe it does, but
trail on the rake or...
It might be because it's a bit more like my e-bike at home, but I didn't notice it. Anyway,
of course, there's more weight at the front of it, but
yeah,
relative to your...
Anyway, we're at the top of that little hill now. It was only about, what, 50 meters, but it made about a minute difference between us. I did start off trying to chase David, and I quickly gave up because my heart rate was just going up and up and my head was starting to get a bit dizzy. Anyway, let's get going. We're 50 kilometers into our ride today, and we've just started our main climb, currently at an elevation of 200 meters, and we're going to go up there. Maybe it doesn't look very big on the GoPro footage, but it looks pretty big to me from down here. I think the top is at about 500 meters. There's our objective. Maybe it looks a little bit bigger now. There's my brother on his acoustic bike, and I'm actually riding my e-bike with the power off. So effectively it's an acoustic bike, and I like to call it treacle mode, because when you turn the power off it feels like you're riding through treacle. Why am I doing that? Well, I just wanted to see what it's like with the power off. Don't worry, I'll turn it back on again when we get to the steep bit. Well done, Dave. I suppose I better go and catch him up now. Shouldn't be too difficult on level 2. We've made it to the top of the climb, and it's the Randa climb. I was a little surprised here because I didn't realise we'd come quite so far across the island, and I was even more surprised in that I recognised the top of the climb, in particular this cafe where I stopped last year. I didn't recognise the climb because I came up a different way last year. However, my brother's going to tell you about his experience of coming up the Randa climb, which was, what, 8 kilometres long and about 350 metres of climbing. How was it for you, Dave?
It was quite hard work. It was hard carrying about 10 kilos extra, so yeah, it was hard work for me. I just rode on power and tried to keep my heart rate down.
You probably still went up faster than I did last year. But
not than you did this year, though.
We'll have to look at that up. But I had my e-bike this year, which is quite helpful. In fact, I was keeping up with a very skinny looking German, and when he decided to overtake me, I took it up to level 2, which they called river, and I overtook him again and paced him up the climb a bit more, so he may have got a personal record going up there. There's a view of Palma over there. I don't know whether you can see it on this video. Anyway, I was even more surprised because I had targeted riding up this climb nearer the end of our holiday, not on day 2. But I'll blame my brother for that, because he picked today's route. Anyway, let's go down the climb, or let's go down the descent, I should say. We've just come down the Randa descent, and now we're on this rather beautiful but slightly bumpy back road. And the nice thing about it is it's generally downhill for the next 20 or 30 kilometers. Gosh, this is pretty. Well, we've just got back from our 113 kilometer ride, and it was about 1,000 meters of climbing. I was on my e-bike, so the climbs to me were relatively easy, apart from the times I turned the motor off, of course. My brother, did he find it easy?
Not really, no.
How was the climb, main climb up to Randa?
It was okay. I just took it as easily as I could. So,
right.
yeah.
And I took it as easily as I could with the motor on the minimum setting, and that to me seemed pretty easy. Anyway, we finished the ride successfully, and perhaps we'll do another one tomorrow. So from me for now, from us, it's goodbye.